Today I'm going to talk about the fourth key characteristic of Gen Z, and by Gen Z I'm referring to those that were born between 1995 and 2009. And the fourth key characteristic of Gen Z is diligent. Now, when I talk about this to others, often I get a lot of nodding of heads from my own generation, often tinged with just a little bit of resentment of the way in which I'm describing it. So why diligent? Well, primarily I'm talking about academic outcomes, and they've shifted over a period of time. So specifically talk about degrees. Now in the mid-90s, the percentage of degrees which came out as first or upper seconds was just under 50%. By the time I get to the start of the 2010s, and it's still the millennials going through university then, you're up to around 2/3. By the end of the 2010s, when the Gen Zs are coming in, we're up to over 3/4. And what's more, in a decade, from the start of the 2010s to the end, it moved to 30% of first-class degrees. That's almost doubling in a decade. And you look at the figures for when Gen Z started to graduate, it accelerates markedly. Now you can look at A levels as well, the percentage of top grades going up over time, also particularly going up as Gen Zs start to come through the system. Now, I know what's said about grade inflation or the quality of teaching or facilities or technology and all of those things. And I can see a case and I can see research and papers and articles and all those kinds of things. However, what I'm saying is that to put down the entirety of these gains down to these things is not fair. I was working in secondary schools through this period of time, and I could see it for myself in terms of how hard those kids worked, how much they wanted to get those qualifications. It's not just about those external factors, it's also about what was coming from the students themselves. So the question then for employers is what they do with this. There's been a lot of talk about quiet quitting and so on in recent weeks and months, and there are some challenges. There are some challenges when it comes to staying late and all those kinds of things. I'm going to deal with that further down the line when I get into solutions. But on the basis of how hard they worked at school, at university and so on, diligence is a real key characteristic of this generation. It's up to employers to decide what they're going to do with that. And that's one of the big challenges for recruitment and retention as well. More to come, but all comments welcome still. Thank you.